Ever wished you had a cosmic blueprint for a specific day? You know, a guide to help you navigate its unique energies for success and maybe even some spiritual growth? Well, today we're doing just that. We're going to unpack a forecast from Kismat for one particular date, Sunday, March 15th, 2026. Let's dive in and see what the stars have in store.
Everything in this guide really hinges on this one single powerful idea. Sunday belongs to the sun. And for this particular day, that solar energy, it isn't just some background noise, it is the main event. It's the source of all the discipline and power that we're going to see influencing everything from our career moves to our spiritual practices.
So, what makes this particular Sunday so unique? Well, according to the source, it has a really distinct celestial signature. Let's start by working at the key planetary influence that's setting the stage for the entire day.
Okay, a huge piece of this puzzle is the day's nakshatra, which is basically the lunar mansion the moon is hanging out in. On this day, it's in Uttara Bhadrapada, which is often called the star of yogis. So you can think of this as the day's hidden superpower, an energy that the guide says literally helps to dissolve fear and build this deep inner courage.
All right, so we've got this courageous kind of transformative energy buzzing in the background. But what do you do with that? How does that translate into action? Well, that brings us to the day's cosmic blueprint, the specific dynamics and recommendations for how to channel all this potential.
And here it is. This is the core engine of the day. On one side, you've got the sun, just providing this raw, powerful energy and discipline. But on the other side, the lunar mansion is ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure and long-term success. The source tells us the real secret is the fusion of these two. It's the sun's fire being channeled by Saturn's laser focus.
And hey, if you want to physically align with this solar frequency, the guide offers a pretty simple tip. Wearing golden or orange colors is said to help you embody and attract the sun's vibrant, powerful energy all day long. Now, for anyone really zeroed in on career success, the guide suggests two really beautiful symbolic acts. Offering water to the sun, well, that's a gesture of honoring that powerful solar energy we've been talking about. And then donating fruit connects that energy of abundance with this simple act of generosity. So, that's the big picture. But how does this potent solar and Saturnian blend actually affect each of the 12 zodiac signs? Okay, let's dive into the specific forecasts. Kicking things off with Aries, that solar energy is absolutely peaking. It's a fantastic day for making big career decisions. For Taurus, the focus is more on peace and financial luck. And Gemini is advised to be a little cautious early on, but not to worry, because good news is expected to arrive by the evening.
Next up, Cancer is really encouraged to focus on partnerships. Now, this won't be a surprise. With the sun in charge, Leo gets a truly royal forecast. We're talking success and high status on the table. Meanwhile, Virgo is set for a day of mental peace and some real progress in educational matters.
Now for Libra, the energy kind of shifts, focusing on peace and happiness at home. For Scorpio, success is going to come through clear communication. And Sagittarius, listen up. You're told your advice will be like gold today, and that can lead to a big increase in both wealth and status. Finally, Capricorn's intuition is going to be off the charts, helping to clear out a lot of old tasks. Aquarius should just be a little mindful of expenses. And we end on a really high note for Pisces. With the moon in your sign, the guide literally calls you unstoppable and suggests a long-held wish might finally come true.
But you know, this guide doesn't just stop with predictions. It also provides a very specific spiritual tool, a practice that's designed for anyone, it doesn't matter what your sign is, to actively harness this potent energy for honor and success.
So the big question is, how can you actively tap into all this potential? Well, the source proposes a specific recitation, a spiritual practice that's known as a wazifa.
The whole practice centers on repeating Ya Samadu. Now, this is one of the 99 names of God in Islamic tradition, and each one represents a specific quality. Ya Samadu invokes the attribute of being the eternal, self-sufficient refuge, basically the one that everyone turns to for help. The practice itself is a really simple three-step meditation. You begin and you end by reciting the Durood Sharif, which is a traditional blessing, 11 times each. But the core of the whole thing is chanting Ya Samadu, a very, very specific and significant number of times.
313 times. Yeah. According to the guide, this exact number is the key to unlocking the full power of the recitation. So, when you boil it all down, what's the ultimate takeaway here? Well, March 15th, 2026 is presented as a day where the cosmic forces are all aligning to reward disciplined action. It's really where the sun's fiery ambition meets Saturn's structured, steady path to success.
The guide is essentially laying out a formula for us: discipline plus spirit. And it leaves us with a really compelling question. On a day that is charged with this kind of unique energy, how will you choose to direct your focus? Because that's the real secret to unlocking its potential. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown.